Hey Hooper, it's Deanne Love here. Welcome to day 3 of 30 days in flow, where we take 4, 6, 8, maybe more tricks each day and create a flow session. From the flow session generator, today's flow session is body roll, orbit breaks or smear breaks if you prefer, passing, and Whirlpool. You may or may not know these tricks, and that's totally fine. If you have variations, perfect. If you don't, also amazing, because I'm going to break the tricks down. So grab your hoop, and then each day, if you go to learn.hooplovers.tv, you're going to find the 30 days in flow. It's free. And there are also playlists and other tutorials and prompts, as well as, very important, each day there is a theme. And this theme is the inspiration for our technique, our flavor, our style that we can start to sprinkle in. Once we've learned the tricks and the transitions, it's always beautiful not to just be stuck in the mud like, I know this trick, I know this trick. If we really want to amplify our full, authentic expression, then we can also sprinkle in. And today is soften. Now, yes, we're starting with a body roll, which can be a challenge for some, definitely for me for a while. So how can we bring in a softness of breath, a rhythm, a natural movement when tricks are quite challenging or they're very linear and very structured? How do we then balance that with flow? Well, let's practice. Grabbing your hoop, we are doing a body roll, which we're going to try to do across the chest. If you do have an extra heavy fitness hoop or one of those ones, maybe it's not for the best. So you might want to replace a body roll with another trick. But if you do have a safe and a lightweight or semi-lightweight hoop that feels good, then let's begin. For this one, we are going to open out, making sure that you're feeling nice and warm already. Of course, you've had a little dance party. We're going to open out into a T. Now, you don't need to swing your head back at all. What you're going to do is simply puff up your chest, and if it feels okay for you, open your palm, your opposite palm, to the heaven. You're also going to make sure that at no time do you bend this elbow, because if you bend this elbow, your hoop is going to land just here, but you want it to land on your first love heart. Can you see? So you're going to land simply by releasing through the wrist. Now give it a few goes. If it doesn't work, that's okay, but be very gentle with yourself. Rhythmic breathing, palm open, check this hand and the other hand and give it a roll. So we roll over and catch. See if you can open up and give yourself a few moments to just let that sink in. Sometimes it will roll very smoothly. If you are quite new to this, it might feel a little bit bumpy. Courageous steps. Now, one of the great things in hooping is learning to go from trick to trick, and sometimes it can feel really impossible because our next trick is to do these orbit breaks where we have our hands on the inside and then we break right wrist to left hip, left wrist to right hip. And of course you can also pop out, but we have to go from a body roll to this. So you're going to find your own way in flow, but here is where we soften. I'm going to suggest, if you're going from right to left or left to right, the catching hand is going to, once you do your roll across, your catching hand is going to hinge the hoop down. Hard to do in slow-mo. Second hand comes to hold, and then you can go into these orbit breaks or smear breaks. So give yourself a little bit of playtime, and you might come up with a totally different transition, which is super cool as well. So from the roll, we go roll, catch, let the weight of the hoop hinge down. This is where we soften, because sometimes we can really tense up with the rolls. So from here, we move into passing. Now, passing has a whole bunch of variations. If you're starting out, and if you've done my 28-day Hoopers Starter Pack, we do the foundations of passing, fingers together, pointers together, knuckles up at the front, and then grabbing the hoop, both palms down, pinkies drawing towards each other at the back. But of course, passing is when we go from one hand to the other. We can break and reverse. Your palms may be up, your palms may be down. So when the music comes on, you can totally explore and play. If you're in a small space like me, you might want to keep it tight, but if you have lots of space, then feel free to roam. After the passing, we move into Whirlpool, and this is where we create these beautiful spirals out in front. And of course, you can do Whirlpool breaks where you take from one hand to the other. So some tips on this: if you are new, reach out, bend your knees, stack your hips, make sure you're feeling really supported, because the bigger your hoop, the more space you will need. And your hoop doesn't have to go super horizontal, but here's the hoop science: the faster you go, the flatter the spin will be. But if you prefer to really create some cauldron-like spirals, get a little bit of witchcraft happening, then your hoop is going to go nice and angled, which is also a beautiful effect. So there we have body roll. Bring it to the back. Pop. You decide, would you like to flip over and pass? Would you like to simply drag around and pass? And then when you feel ready, reaching out in front and then moving. You may want to do this on a continuous cycle, or you might just be practicing your body roll for a bit, or body roll, orbit breaks, passing, and Whirlpool. All with the energy, the delight, the deliciousness of softening. Enjoy. Giving yourself as much time as you need, using the playlists over on learn.hooplovers.tv and the 30 days in flow, as well as exploring multiple variations that come to you. I'm going to share as many other tutorials as I can if there are any variations. If you have not done the 28-day Hoopers Starter Pack, you'll get all of the solid foundations in there. Thank you so much for softening, for flowing, for playing today, and I'll see you tomorrow.